TST Total Sports Talk. From Studio Spare Room in his own house, here is your host, Andrew Rogers.
TST Total Sports Talk. I am your host, Andrew Rogers. It is Monday, May 29th, 2017. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you again, and thank you very much for tuning in, both on Facebook and YouTube platforms. Really appreciate all your support. As with each show for the month of May, as it dwindles down, it is dedicated to Sick Kids Hospital Foundation. Go to www.sickkids.ca and click on the Donate tab to donate now. And again, thank you very much for your continued support. On the show for you today, last night, it was the 2017 Memorial Cup final as it came to a close. The tournament, which has been nothing short of unbelievable. It was a great finish. We'll touch on that in a moment. The Toronto Blue Jays were looking to sweep away the Texas Rangers at the Rogers Center. The time for talk is over. It's time for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Pittsburgh. All the debates, everything goes out the window as the puck officially drops on the Stanley Cup Finals tonight in Pittsburgh. And we continue to look back at LeBron's finals run as we revisit the 2013 NBA championship between the Spurs and the Miami Heat. Our show begins, however, though, with the 2017 MasterCard Memorial Cup Finals from Windsor. TST Total Sports Talk report on the 2017 MasterCard Memorial Cup, presented by the Canadian Hockey League. It was the 99th edition of the MasterCard Memorial Cup final last night as the Erie Otters and the host Windsor Spitfires battled for CHL's top prize in the first all-OHL matchup in the Memorial Cup final since 1993. Jeremy Bracco would open the scoring on the power play. Less than a minute later, Dylan Strome would even it up with his 7th of the tournament. In the second period, Warren Fogle would deflect one past Michael DiPietro with his skate to put Erie up 2-1. They would review it, deemed a good goal, even though clear kicking motion could be seen. First time Windsor has trailed at any point in the tournament. Less than a minute later, Logan Stanley with the seeing eye shot ties it at 2. With just over 7 to play in the second period, TJ Fergus puts it a shot from the point that takes a deflection and beats Michael DiPietro, giving Erie the lead back at 3-2. Michael DiPietro allows 3 goals for the first time in the Memorial Cup tournament. 2:12 later, however, back comes Windsor as Gabriel Velarde to Graham Nutt in front, who puts it past Troy Timpano. 1 of 4 assists for Velarde in the game, and we are tied at 3 going into the third period. Toronto Maple Leafs prospect Jeremy Bracco, who's had an unbelievable tournament, acquired by the Windsor Spitfires at the OHL trade deadline from the Kitchener Rangers. 5 minutes into the third period, draws 3 defenders into the corner and finds Aaron Luchuk to put Windsor up 4-3, and that would be your game winner. Windsor Spitfires defeat the Erie Otters 4-3 in the MasterCard Memorial Cup final. It was an unbelievable game from both teams. It was back and forth, Windsor coming out on top. They are the 3rd consecutive OHL team to win the Memorial Cup. They are the first host team since the 2012 Shawinigan Cataracts to win on home ice in the Memorial Cup. It's unbelievable. Windsor beating all 3 champions from the OHL, the Quebec Major Junior League, and the Western Hockey League in the tournament. Just unbelievable. Erie fails to win their first Memorial Cup ever, while the Windsor Spitfires win their 3rd in team history, first since 2010. Dylan Strome of the Erie Otters is named tournament MVP after he registered 7 goals and 4 assists for 11 points in 5 games played for the Erie Otters. That line, just unbelievable. Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat, and Taylor Radish combined for 32 points in 5 games. Just absurd. Tough for the Erie Otters, obviously, but they fall to the Windsor Spitfires, who go 4-0 in the Memorial Cup tournament. Congratulations to the 2017 Memorial Cup champions, the Windsor Spitfires. We now turn our attention to the Major League Baseball scene and the Toronto Blue Jays.
TST Total Sports Talk report for the Major League Baseball season and the Toronto Blue Jays.
The Toronto Blue Jays were in action yesterday, looking to sweep their 3-game series against the Texas Rangers at the Rogers Center. Devin Travis extended his hitting streak to 12 games with a single in the 5th, and Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Joe Biagini would hit career highs in innings pitched in a game with 6 and strikeouts in an outing with 7. Unfortunately, however, he would surrender a home run to Joey Gallo, his 15th, and a 2-out single to catcher Jonathan Lucroy. His record falls to 1-3 as the Texas Rangers beat the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1. Texas Rangers starter Andrew Kashner was very good on this day. He went 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 5 hits, while walking 2 and striking out 2, as his record improves to 2-4 on the season. Rangers reliever Matt Bush worked around 2 singles in the ninth to lock down his 6th save of the season. Game notes in this one, the Toronto Blue Jays were just unable to do anything against Andrew Kashner, who was very, very sharp in this game. His record improves to 2-4. He went 7 strong, striking out 2, only allowing 1 on 5 hits. Looked very sharp, and he was able to keep the Blue Jays bats in check, who've been absolutely on fire of late. Toronto was also 0-7 with runners in scoring position for the day. Not going to get it done. They got to do better on that. But otherwise, a very good start to their homestand, taking 2 of 3 from the Texas Rangers. There's also some very good news announced today, as it was revealed that starter J.A. Happ would be activated off the disabled list and start on Tuesday against the Cincinnati Reds. It'll be his first start since April 16th. He's been on the DL ever since. As far as tonight goes, the Toronto Blue Jays open up a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds and Canada's own Joey Votto. The Jays will send Marcus Stroman to the mound. His 5-2 record on the year is very sharp. He will go up against Lisalverto Bonilla, who is 0-2 on the season for the Cincinnati Reds. The game time will be 7:07 on Sportsnet 1. We now turn our attention to the Stanley Cup Finals.
TST Total Sports Talk report for the NHL and the 2017 Stanley Cup Playoffs.
The Stanley Cup Finals will finally get underway tonight between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Nashville Predators from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh obviously learning that they will get Patrick Hornqvist back in the lineup tonight. He has been out since game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. He's a definitely welcome sight back to the lineup for the Pittsburgh Penguins, like they need any more help. That potent offense, they're just unbelievable. But hey, Nashville getting a player back of their own. Captain Mike Fisher will be back into the lineup tonight. Fisher hasn't played since game number 4 of the Western Conference Final. This is going to be a fantastic series. We can't wait. TST, we can't wait till it gets started and underway so we can cover it for you. It goes at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight, and it is on CBC and Sportsnet. You don't want to miss that one. Finally, we turn our attention now to the NBA playoffs.
TST Total Sports Talk report for the NBA and the 2017 NBA playoffs.
The 2017 NBA Championship Final is one day closer to getting underway. The rubber match between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also for a 7th consecutive final, of course, will be featuring LeBron James. His first 4 of the finals appearance, his first 4 of these unprecedented 6 in a row, now 7. His first 4 came with the Miami Heat. TST continues to examine the 6 previous NBA championships, and today we feature the 2013 NBA championship between the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat. In game number 1, LeBron James had a triple-double, 18 points, 18 rebounds, and 10 assists, but it was Tony Parker leading the way for the San Antonio Spurs, 21 points, 6 assists as the San Antonio Spurs take game 1, 92-88, for a 1-0 series lead. Game number 2 saw Miami use a 33-5 run in the second half to rout the San Antonio Spurs, 103-84. Mario Chalmers paced the Heat with 19 points, as the series was then all tied up at 1. Game 3, San Antonio would set a record for most threes made in a game with 16 in the playoffs, while also handing the Heat their worst playoff defeat in franchise history. The final score ended up being the San Antonio Spurs 113, Miami Heat 77. Danny Green would lead all the San Antonio Spurs scorers with 27 points. Spurs lead the series 2-1. In game number 4, Miami with a huge bounce-back game in game number 4 as they evened up this series at 2 with a 109-93 victory. Miami's big 3 of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh combined to score 85 of Miami's 109 points in the victory. Game number 5, San Antonio would ride a hot hand of Tony Parker and Danny Green, who had scored 26 and 24 points respectively, as the San Antonio Spurs took back a series lead 3-2 with a 114-104 victory in game number 5. Game 6, with their backs against the wall facing elimination, LeBron would record his second triple-double of the series, leading the Miami Heat to a 103-100 overtime victory in game number 6. LeBron James would finish with 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. Game number 7, LeBron saved his best performance for the last, as he put up 37 points, including 5 3-pointers, as the Miami Heat would capture their second consecutive NBA championship, 95-88 over the San Antonio Spurs. LeBron James was named NBA playoff MVP for a second consecutive season. He averaged 25.3 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 7 assists in the series. Tomorrow we take a look at the 2014 NBA Championship as we continue to get you set up for the latest chapter between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The 2017 NBA Finals begin Thursday, June 1st at 9 p.m. in Golden State. This has been another episode of TST Total Sports Talk. I am your host, Andrew Rogers, reminding you to keep your head up and keep your stick on the ice.